Hi, I'm Holly, the Director of Recruitment and Engagement at Hunter Ambrose, and I am here with the team at Cabinet Peaks. We've got Tyler, Allen, and Kimberly here to talk about the lab manager position that we're recruiting for. Let's just go down the line. Tyler, you can start, and let's all introduce ourselves.
Sure. My name is Tyler Hanley. I am the Rehab Services Manager and the Emergency Department Manager here at Cabinet Peaks.
Alan Carmignani, Cardiopulmonary Manager here at Cabinet Peaks.
Hello, I'm Kimberly Rebo, and I'm the Inpatient Nursing Manager.
Awesome. So we've got lots of leadership here with us today. So you guys kind of have the lowdown on what it takes to be in a leadership role at Cabinet Peaks. Kimberly, why don't you tell us a little bit about the organization as a whole?
So we are a small critical access hospital, 25 beds. That's our inpatient beds. We have a fully functional, fully staffed emergency department, imaging department, lab department, all of the amenities of a large hospital or a large facility right here in our small town. We've got mountains to climb and rivers to fish in and boat on. Just a great small town community. We serve a pretty large county population, even though we are remote.
Amazing. And I know I don't know a lot about Libby myself other than what I've looked up. So maybe Tyler, you can tell me a little bit more about what it's like to live in the community. Maybe, I don't know, how far is the nearest, Walmart, Target? What's it look like living in Libby?
So to answer that first question, we are roughly an hour and a half away from shopping like Costco, Target, Walmart. It's not that far. It's about 90-mile drive to Kalispell is where that is located. Bigger city like Spokane, Washington is about 3 hours away, 3.5 hours away, where there's a larger airport. As far as living here in Libby, a lot of people call it God's country. We are in the middle of the Rocky Mountains. We've got lakes and rivers that we recreate on and fish and boat. If you're into hunting, there's hunting here, camping, hiking. It really is for people that are more outdoors minded. It really doesn't get much better than this place. The size of Libby, I think we have about, you guys can correct me on this, I want to say 3,000 or 4,000 people in the town. We're a Class A school in Montana. Troy, Montana, which is about 20 miles away, is smaller. They have about 1,000 people, and they're a Class B school. I've been a high school football coach for the past couple of years here in Libby. So we do have quite a few staff members that get involved with the community, smaller community. It seems like somebody's always involved with something.
Very cool.
But yeah, it's really a cool place to live. It's a place, I was born here, born and raised here, moved away for almost 20 years out of high school, and then finally moved back home about 4 years ago.
Awesome. And Alan and Kimberly, are you from the area or did you relocate to Libby?
You can go first, Kimberly.
So my family is actually, my husband's family is from here, and we moved back after being away. We've been here about 8 years now, a little more, and then just absolutely love it. It's a great place to raise our kids and to be integrated with the community, lots of different events.
I've been in this area for about 15 years, transplanted from pretty much all over the country. So I never stayed in any one particular state for more than 5 years because it was boring. So this area has really intrigued me. My wife, I have for 10 years, came from Massachusetts, and she absolutely loves it here, even though when she got here, it was a shopping transition for her.
I'm sure.
But now when she goes back home to visit family, she can't wait to get back to Libby, Montana.
That's awesome. That's so cool to hear that everyone's kind of found their home, and even Tyler, you left and you're back. So must be a great place to live. Alan, why don't you tell us a little bit about the lab department?
Okay, well, I work with the lab probably closer than most of the departments because we have some lab equipment through the respiratory area that goes through COLA as well. We currently have 8 lab people that work in there and 5 phlebotomists. It's open around the clock. We have 2 brand new ortho-vitro 7600 units down there that have only been in place for about a year. So we got a primary unit and a backup unit. So very rarely do we go down for any testing. We send pathology out to Kalispell, but most of the other tests and anything we need to do, we do here. We've got a micro lab, we got blood, hematology, UA, and coags that we can all do in-house. Very comparable to any large hospital outside of just the pathology part that you would ever want. And it's a great working environment. Everybody has been there a long time. They get along like family, and like family, occasional butt heads, but they work it out. And they do their job extremely well. It's a great little lab to work in, and even though it's little, it's very high tech.
Awesome. Small but mighty, it sounds like.
Yep.
And since you're all in leadership positions, what do you think are some key attributes that this potential candidate would need to have coming in as a lab manager?
The biggest one that we're looking for and hoping for is somebody that wants to be here, somebody that is invested in the hospital and in the community, somebody that is wanting to grow and to be part of the team. Many of us as the managers are working managers, so we work shoulder to shoulder with our team, especially when we have, high census or high volumes. And that's so important to be a team player, to be able to work seamlessly with our teams, whether it's the front line or with management. We have a lot of quality projects, a lot of things that we're working on as an organization, and having somebody that is willing to work as a team and contribute is a huge aspect of the right candidate for this position.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I would second that. I think we need, somebody that's a team player, people that have good attitudes, can-do attitudes. We really do have a family feel at this facility for having a couple hundred employees. Everybody is very close. You get to know everybody that works here. Like Kim said, somebody that's just invested to being here and wants this kind of lifestyle. I think one thing we've seen, and I'm not trying to talk anybody out of this position, is the winters can be long and cold, and for people that aren't involved in the outdoors, that can kind of weigh on them. And so you do see people that move here with the grand ideal of being in the mountains, but after a few years of our winters, which are awesome, but it's not for everybody.
Yeah.
So I think just knowing that what you're getting into, not from just this is a great facility and a great place to work, but where you're moving and making sure that that's going to work out for you as well.
Yeah.
I think the only thing I would add to that is, here we really strive to really bring that high quality of care you'd see in a big city, but with that, family doctor that used to pay you the home visit attitude and mentality of dealing with patients, and the staffing. And like Kimberly said, we're working managers. Here you might, as a lab manager, you might be sitting at the desk running tests sometimes, and 10 minutes later up in a meeting talking quality and stuff. So working with everybody in the hospital and finding somebody that wants to settle in. I think Roger was here for 15 years before he retired.
Wow.
Is that right, Kimberly?
No.
Yeah, and then we just kind of run through a couple of them interim, trying to find that right fit. And that's what we're looking for now, is that right fit that can be a long-term part of this team.
Yeah, I think it's super important for leaders to not be afraid to get their hands dirty. I think that creates cohesion within the team. So definitely looking for that special person that loves outdoors and is ready to, be in the middle of all of it. Tyler, I know you mentioned that you've got some exciting things in the works for the hospital this year. If you want to talk about that a little bit.
Yeah, from the emergency department perspective, we are working towards being an officially trauma designated provider or hospital. So quite a process. There's a lot of paperwork. We're hoping to have that done in September of this year. So that'll be cool. We're also working on and being a stroke designated hospital as well, which we actually had for a while, and it kind of fell off a couple years ago. So we're getting that back this year. From a rehab perspective, we just got a brand new therapy pool, which has been awesome, a great addition to the community. It's been very popular over the past several months. And then this year, we're actually hiring, the hospital is hiring a full-time athletic trainer to donate to the high schools for their sports programs.
Oh, that's amazing.
We haven't had an athletic trainer for several years. And so our new CEO, Tad, agreed with me that it would be a great benefit to the community to just hire that person and donate them to the high school. So there's a couple cool things that are coming out of the departments that I'm overseeing right now.
Yeah, that's amazing. That just goes hand in hand with what you've kind of been threading through the whole time, talking about that community involvement. I think that's awesome that they're working with the school. So
Yep.
Definitely an amazing opportunity. It sounds like with a really tight-knit, community-oriented team. If you're interested in this position, you can email recruiter@hunterambrose.com. And thank you guys for your time today.
Thank you.
Thank you.